counter, kids in despair. Doctors write scripts like they don't care. Addiction's a profit, they cash in pain. Families destroyed for financial gain. Town after town, buried in pills. Funeral homes, counting the bills. Mothers weeping, fathers gone. Children inherit what went wrong. Opioid lullabies sung to the grave. Addicts asleep while the dealers save. This ain't a crisis, it's a war in disguise. A nation sedated with hollow lies. Corporations guilty but they pay a fine. Meanwhile the addicts die in line. The system profits, the people fall. A nation addicted to death's call. So I rap this anthem for lives betrayed by needles, bottles, debts unpaid. Opioid lullabies can't hush the cries, but our voices roar and break the ties. Suffer left dismayed, cough aloud is betrayed by needle bones, debts in okay. Bookie Hill raped, I can't hush the cries, but our voices roar and break the ties. They build walls high, not just with stone, but with hatred deep to divide the home. Immigrants blamed for a broken state, but greed's the monster that fuels the hate. Children in cages, dreams denied, parents deported, hope has died. We chant for borders but forget our past. We were all immigrants, but the lies hold fast. Walls of division rise so tall, but they'll crumble down, they can't stand it all. You can't cage hope, you can't block dreams. The walls just fear and broken schemes. Politicians profit from the hate they breed, while the people bleed for their own greed. But love's the weapon they can't defend, and these walls of division will find their end. So I spit for the families torn apart, for the cries ignored from a broken heart. If freedom's real, then we must decide to tear down the walls and stand with pride. Evangelists smiling on screens so wide, selling salvation with cash inside. They say plant a seed, but it's all a scam. Preaching for dollars, not for the lamb. Faith exploited, truth for sale. Hope's a product they ship by mail. Poor folk giving their last hour, pastors drink wine in their prime. Plastic faith, bending in hands. A gospel twisted by greedy plans. If heaven's for sale, then where's the truth? We're praying for lies, deceiving the youth. the homeless starve, losing dreams. The Lord ain't found in a diamond ring, but in every struggle, every sting. So I spit for the faithful, used and torn, for the cries ignored in the early morn. If faith is plastic, let it all break, 'cause real salvation ain't theirs to take. Concrete jungle where the shadows play. Dreams get buried in the light of day. Kids grow up with a gun in sight, learning survival instead of what's right. Politicians promise but never show. Another generation with nowhere to go. Schools are broken, futures denied. Dreams evaporate while mothers cry. Streets of forgotten dreams paved with lies. Hope disappears while the system dies. Another name on a mural wall. A dream too young, but we lost it all. Opportunities rigged, it ain't the same. We gamble lives in a crooked game. They call it freedom, but it ain't that deep when the American dream puts kids to sleep. So I spit for the fallen, the voiceless crew, for the dreams stolen that never grew. If hope's forgotten on these city beams, I'll resurrect life in the streets of dreams. Every headline bleeds with cash. Human lives traded in the market stash. CEOs laugh while the workers slave, digging their fortune in a shallow grave. They'll sell your health, they'll sell your breath, turning poverty into early death. Rich get richer, the poor get none. It's a rigged up game that's never done. Dollar over people, greed over love. We bow to the paper, not the skies above. They trade compassion for corporate gain, while humanity cries in endless pain. Minimum wage won't pay the rent, but the billionaires still stay content. We work our lives for a dying dream, while they sip champagne on a golden stream. So I spit this verse as a rebel's creed, for the ones exploited, forced to bleed. If money's the god that they adore, then the people's rage will settle the score. Turn on the news, but the truth ain't there. They silence voices they can't repair. Whistleblowers vanish, stories fade, 'cause honesty's dangerous when profits are made. Journalists jailed for exposing lies, while the guilty roam free in a perfect disguise. The headlines scream what they want you to read, but the truth bleeds quiet, left to concede. The silence sells louder than sound. Truth gets buried 6 feet underground. They mute the pain, they edit the cries, 'cause silence profits and truth just dies. We clap for the lies, scrolling blind, but forget the truth we'll never find. If honesty's dead, then the crime is clear. The silence sells what we hold dear. So I spit for the voices they cut away, for the truth they hide in the light of day. If silence sells and they write the bill, then I'll be the noise they can't kill. Factories closed, the silence speaks loud. Workers laid off, dreams lost in the crowd. Rust on the rails, dust on the floor. The heart of America don't beat no more. They ship the jobs overseas with a smile. Families broken, towns left in denial. Children grow up where the mills once stood. Now it's just ghosts in the neighborhood. Rust Belt hymns, songs of despair, prayers unanswered still hang in the air. America's promise, sold for a dime, but the people still sing through the hardest time. Politicians visit for a photo op, shake a few hands, then the camera stop. They never rebuild, they never stay, just leave behind towns in slow decay. So I rap for the rust, the forgotten land, for the workers left with empty hands. Our voices rise, a hymn of rage, written in sweat on history's page. drive downtown, what do you see? Tents under bridges, misery free. Families living in the shadows of light. Invisible people in plain sight. They talk about freedom, they talk about pride, but where's the freedom for those pushed aside? Mental health broken, no safety net. Just cold nights colder with each regret. Tents under bridges, America's shame. Forgotten citizens with no one to blame. Dreams traded for shelter, life in a bag, while the nation waves a spotless flag. They say work harder, pull up your boots, but boots don't matter with no roots. How can you rise when the system denies? How can you live when the future lies? So I rap for the tents, the people unseen, the ones America forgot to redeem. If justice don't come, we'll tear the seams and rebuild a nation from broken dreams. They sold us freedom with Wi-Fi chains, algorithms, puppets, and digital lanes. Every click's a prison, every scroll's a cage. We perform our lives on a corporate stage. Privacy's dead, it's so cheap for gold. Data's the product, the stories they hold. We trade our souls for likes and fame, but lose ourselves in a rigged up game. Digital shackles, chains unseen, prisoners trapped in a glowing screen. They call it progress, they call it new, but it's control dressed up in a shiny hue. With shadow banned voices, muted truth, manipulated minds from the days of youth. Control disguised as connections prized. We're blind to the cage before our eyes. So I rap for the lost, the wide, the weak, for the freedom stolen they'll never speak. Digital shackles can't hold the mind if we break the code and leave it behind.